Hola and como estas, everyone. I've been brushing up on my Spanish a little bit because I'm at a park where there's a section where I could probably put it to good use. We're here at Six Flags. No, we're not. Jesus Christ. The place that I'm at is Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia. Fun fact, this was actually my home park as a little kid growing up in Norfolk and Chesapeake, Virginia. And I'm here now to kind of experience it again as an adult. My daughter and I came here probably 3 years ago. We've got all the credits here with the exception of Invader. So that's gonna be our new credit for this trip. And also new for 2019 is Finnegan's Flyer. So we're gonna check that out today as well. It's a sweltering 100 degrees outside today. So that's something we're gonna have to take into account. We're gonna be sure we stay hydrated because it's lit out here, literally and figuratively. But let's get into it. Back when I was a little kid, my mom and dad would bring me here on the weekends, and this was probably one of the first rides I ever rode at any park of any kind. Just little horses, man. All right, quick story time. Once upon a time back in 1989, my dad made me get on this ride when I was 7 years old. It was my first real roller coaster ever. I remember being terrified and crying up until the first drop. After that, that was the moment I fell in love with roller coasters. So it's really cool to be back here and share this with my daughter. In the realm of aero custom loopers, this is probably top 2 along with Tennessee Tornado and Dollywood. I love this layout, really well themed. And it's surprisingly really smooth over the years. It's held up better than some of the other aero custom loopers that we've encountered in our journey. So anyway, let's do it. First reaction on that in 3 years, it's held up pretty well. I mean, it's still gonna kind of knock you around just a little bit. I mean, it is a custom looper. Those things weren't prefab, so they have little warps and imperfections. There's a couple of pops of ejector that you don't really want. It can be a little bit rough here and there, but ultimately, you know, there's so much charm and a ton of nostalgia for me that it overshadows any of the little minor things. And all things considered, that coaster is older than me and it's held up better than I have over the years, I'd say. So there's something there for it, you know. I enjoy it. Down by the boat cruise, there's a lot of good photo ops of Griffin, Alpengeist, and Loch Ness Monster. But to get back up to the entrance to Loch Ness Monster is pretty indicative of a lot of this park. But this is probably the most extreme example of just how hilly and terrain oriented this park is. I mean, look at all these stairs. Here on certain days, you'll see that they'll have grape stomping competitions in honor of very old European traditions of winemaking. But what this really reminds me of is a certain viral video. You know, man, a homeboy told me about this roller coaster here. I drive all the way up from Atlanta. It's not even on the map. I can't find it anywhere. I don't know. He told me something about renting a DeLorean. I don't know. All right, it's time to see where this B&M invert stacks up after all these years. A couple of little birdies told me it's pretty heavily trimmed this last season or so, so man, I hope they didn't neuter this thing. Please, Alpengeist, be the greatness that you once were. First reaction, yeah, it's trimmed incredibly hard at the mid-course. Pretty much anything after the mid-course feels kind of meandering and pointless, but that first half is still really great. You know, it's pretty evident when you're at the top of that first lift hill. It's still the tallest B&M invert, and I just really love the wide open layout, kind of that feeling of flying versus the normal B&M invert. layout, which is more compact, pulling all those positive G's. This one just feels like you're flying. Yeah, it's still good, and not too bad of a rattle like some people have been saying. We did sit in the front, but wasn't bad. I don't know. Probably one of the saddest things coming here after 3 years is seeing this. One of the greatest dark rides that was a non-Disney or Universal property, and it's gone. Now, just a little special events and a little scare walkthrough around Howl-O-Scream. All right, what's your name? Where you from?
Shamploo, here from VA, from ReactCenTruL and AnimeCentral. Always funny, always live, but also we're here for Here Comes Trouble with these kids here. It's always funny, Nerf wars, everything, slime videos. This one right here, wild. But yeah, it's all good, fun entertainment for everybody. Definitely check it out.
Family friendly. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, go subscribe.
Yeah.
And notification bell.
All right, this is the only new credit of this visit. Last time we were here, they were doing land clearing for Invader. So we're gonna check it out for the first time. Here it's a pretty nice little family coaster. Fun for what it is. So, you know, I'm open-minded. I'm feeling positive. Let's check it out.
Exiting guests. Please lift harness and exit quickly.
First ride on Invader. My thoughts, great for what it is. It's a nice little family coaster, but it's not a kiddie coaster. It definitely packs a little bit of a punch and a pop. Definitely a good kind of intermediate coaster for the kids to kind of go from like Grover to maybe starting to think about doing something like Apollo's Chariot. It's a little bit intense, but not too intense. Definitely had a few pops of ejector and a little bit of floater on a couple of those hills as well. The Millennium Flyer trains, of course, if you've been on those, you know what to expect. Both my daughter and I got a little stapled, but it wasn't a deal breaker. We were still able to float a little bit. All in all, great ride, great fit for this park. We dig it, we'll be back on it. Really love the queue line over at Bolton. The backstory is definitely that there are some plants, some weird happenings going on in the Black Forest of Germany. And this room just tells kind of a small story here. It's really a lot to soak in. All right, first time back on Bear Bolton since 2016. Let's get it.
We're glad to see you've escaped to the forest. Please lift up on your safety harness and exit carefully to your left.
First time back on Bear Bolton after about 3 years. We've ridden some more forceful launches since then, so as expected, the launch wasn't as crazy as I remembered it being. The show building section is intense still though, just as fun and cool as we remembered it. Drop track is awesome as always. What a great themed ride though, just tons of fun. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. You wanna come here? Come here? Nope. Alright, just got off the new for 2019 Finnegan's Flyers. It's an S&S Screamin' Swing, very similar to Skyhawk at Cedar Point. I think I like these a little more just for the simple fact that there's at least an attempt at some theming, sort of Celtic theming. And if you can kind of see down here, there's a lovely little green pond that you kind of extend on this edge out over towards. And it just adds a little bit more feeling of danger and height to the ride. So all in all, great ride. I really dig this. What are your names?
My name's Patty. I'm Emily.
Adaluz.
Nice to meet you. Where are you all from?
I'm from El Salvador.
Me too. I'm from Dominican Republic.
Wow.
Yes.
Far away.
Yes.
Is this your first time here?
No, my third time.
I live here.
Yeah?
Me too. Yeah.
Nice.
Live here.
What's your favorite ride?
All
I like all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah. The blue one. Yeah.
The one that holds you in the
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have any social media you want to shout out? Any Instagram?
It's nobody gonna know because he's in Spanish.
It's hard to spell. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Look us up, GP Coasters. Like and subscribe. We're a small channel.
okay, we'll do it.
As the sun starts to get low in the sky and batteries start to run low, both literally and figuratively, it's been a great first day. We are here for 2 days. A couple of things you missed. We rode Apollo's Chariot a couple of times, Tempesto once. Got good rides off of both of them. It's been a while since I've actually ridden Apollo's Chariot, so kind of seeing where it really stands on the list of my B&M hypers that I've ridden. You know, I think it's still middle of the pack, and it's the first one. It's OG status, so you know, I'm happy for what it is. Very little rattle, actually. It's in really good shape. That turnaround by the water is fun. And the one thing that I do finally remember is that a night ride on it is really what you want. So that's probably what we're about to do here in just a few minutes. Sun should be setting here in about 20-30 minutes. Yeah, but all in all, great first day. I want to wrap that up for now. I thought about making this 2 separate vlogs, but I feel like it's the same park, just 2 different days. So we'll just kind of cut for a little intermission now. And when I see you tomorrow, it'll be day 2 here at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Weather is on the horizon. We'll see how that goes. Possible scattered thunderstorms and all that fun stuff. You know, we'll see. But I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, I lied. We're not quite done yet. We're gonna do a couple of night rides, finish out the day on Tempesto, and then hopefully get 2 or 3 good rides on Apollo's Chariot as it gets a little darker. Looks like it's gonna be a good time. All right, we actually ended up grabbing about 4 rides consecutively. Back row, Apollo's Chariot, essentially night ride. There was like a little sliver of light kind of lingering around, but it was basically dark. I mean, you couldn't really see out there. And actually, our second to last ride of the night, Akira and I were the only 2 people on the train. So yeah, kind of in theme with Mike West and I getting night ride, only 2 people on Copperhead Strike just a couple of weeks ago. Same thing just happened on Apollo's Chariot here at Busch Gardens. So anyway, now that's really the end of the night, and we'll catch you tomorrow on day 2 here in about a couple seconds. Day 2, heading back to Busch Gardens. The weather looks pretty rough today, so I don't know how much really good footage we're going to be able to get for you guys, or how many good rides we're going to be able to get for ourselves. But you know, the weather's unpredictable. We have no idea, but it does look like it's supposed to thunder and lightning for a good portion of the day, and then rain after the thunder and lightning moves out for pretty much the rest of the day until the park closes. At least that's what the forecast says. We'll see how true it ends up being. We've got an all-day dining plan. There's lots of indoor shows and cool options and alternative things we can do. So yeah, let's go get creative. Just tried to hop in line for Invader, and sadly it's one train ops. My apologies, but I'm not waiting 45 minutes to ride Mini Mystic Timbers, or as my daughter likes to call it, Tiny Timbers. So hopefully we'll grab a ride on that before the bad weather moves in. Definitely would like to get more than just one ride on that thing on this trip, but we'll see.
Exiting guests, please lift up on your safety harness and exit quickly and carefully to your right. Thank you for riding Griffin and enjoy the rest of your day here at Busch Gardens.
All right, that was my first ride on Griffin since 2016. Since then, I've ridden Valraven, and it's nice to get back on this so I can really compare those two, the only two dives that I've ridden so far. This one's better. This one's better, I gotta say. The first drop is better. The second drop after the mid-course is definitely better than Valraven's. I think the overall course layout and the fact that it's rows of 10 instead of rows of 8 really make a difference too. You know, Splashdown is kind of the same way I feel about Diamondback. It looks really cool off-ride, but other than that, it's not really a practical improvement over anything. It's just aesthetically cool. But overall, really like this dive coaster, and that's odd for me to say because I don't really like dive coasters in general, but this one's awesome.
Popped in for some lunch at the barbecue place over by Griffin, and I gotta say, so far, it's delicious. So we got the little sampler platter here. It's got brisket and some chicken and ribs. I've already destroyed one of the ribs as depicted here. Got some waffle fries, Carolina style tangy barbecue sauce, little roll, and then for dessert we've got chocolate cake coming up. Yeah, not even just for theme park food though, but food in general. Like if I went to a barbecue restaurant somewhere and had this, I would be pretty pleased. It's tasty.
Just got some grub. We're gonna try Invader again because the weather is moving in very quickly approaching. I think we have maybe 45 minutes or so before it's supposed to hit, and it's not going to stop for the rest of the day pretty much, according to the forecast. So let's check out the Invader queue line and see what the damage is.
Damn.
Unfortunately, I don't think Invader's going to be in the cards for right now, because in the time that it's going to take us to get one ride on that, we could probably marathon Alpengeist and Bear Bolton. Which I'd much rather utilize what little time we might have left to do that. So, if it clears up and clears out, maybe we'll be on it later.
Yeah, we're just gonna do Alpengeist instead. That's a walk-on.
All right, Alpengeist is down. No wonder it looked like a walk-on. So the quest to ride any damn thing before it rains and lightnings all over our faces continues. All right, we're gonna try Bear Bolton here instead. All right, we just got one ride on it. Rain's moving in. We're gonna try to circle back around. We're gonna catch a back row ride this time.
Yep, we're about to hop on one more ride hopefully, but I don't know if y'all can see. Let me zoom in a little bit. This rain is real, y'all.
Yeah, so that happened. It's pouring down rain. I don't think I've ever ridden a roller coaster in pouring rain. We definitely got a few like drizzling or like kind of sprinkling at Millennium Force, but yo, it's real out here at Bear Bolton today, y'all. Good Lord. Came over to the Italian section, you know, in the event that Apollo's Chariot might somehow be running. Obviously it wasn't. So what do you do in a situation like this? I guess she maybe did some flat rides?
Let's pick a seat. This one. 150 tickets will get you this. Escape from Pompeii is open. We're gonna ride it. Cause what's gonna happen? We're gonna get wet? Too late. All right, just got 2 rain rides on Pompeii. You know, the fire kind of warms you up and dries you off, but then you go right back out in the rain and get splashed down on anyway. So, you know, our philosophy is you can't get wetter than wet, so it is what it is. My socks are soggy, bruh. Man, even the animals are like, nah, man, I'm not trying to get wet today. Well, we just did the Battle of Ayr for the 2nd time, you know, pretty cool. Indoors, so we liked it. And now we're gonna go check out a little live indoor show that starts here in about 10 minutes. Do I look awesome? So no photography of any kind was allowed in the show. However, I can just tell you right now, the show was really good. Some really precise dancing, really good musical numbers too. I mean, Six Flags, your move. We're here at Six Flags. You guys got to step it up, man. Busch Gardens out here killing the game with these shows. Okay, so we're about to call it a day, but this boat that came by just before this one had people on it. That's right, they're running the log flume in the rain. So I guess we're gonna do it. We got 3 consecutive rides on Les Scouts, which is their log flume. We're not wet because of the ride though, we're wet because of the sky. It's just not gonna stop raining, so they shut the park down at 7. I'm not really mad at that, you know, it's to be expected. Can't really run any rides or anything, so we're gonna head up to Richmond. Just really thankful for the time that we got here though. We got some great rides on everything. Got to catch some shows we otherwise wouldn't have if it wasn't raining, because we would have been on all the rides. And then we got to hear a lot of copyright music that was blasting and messing up my shot. But anyway, we'll catch you on the next time, where you will see us in Doswell, Virginia at the legendary King's Dominion, where I will be getting my first ever ride on I-305. For GP Coasters, I am Jimmy, aka Gary Parsons, signing out.